another week of Dear Piggy's Python tutorials. So excited to have you back for week number 4. And this week we are going to be having about 4 videos. And so the first one that we're going to be working with today is different methods with lists. So specifically little functions that will help you along when working with lists. And I know you guys might be wondering, like, why are we working with lists so much, Sunny? I don't think I can handle anymore. Too many lists, right? But it's okay. This video is going to be short, simple, to the point, and we're going to go over around 6 or 7 functions. So we're going to be going over the append function, insert function, remove, pop, delete, clear, and copy. So these are all functions that are so important when you're working with lists. So without further ado, let's go over here and create our list. So we go to repl.it, which is our in-browser IDE. We click on the blue Start Coding button in the top right-hand corner or in the middle, choose our language Python, and create our REPL. So the basis of all of this is that we need to have a list created, right? And fortunately, we've gotten really good at that because we've been working with string lists a lot for the past 2 classes. So let's see here. What's something that we can work with for this one? We can probably work with colors. There's plenty of nice colors out there. We'll start with the basics: red, orange, the rainbow colors, yellow, green, blue. And for now, I'm going to stop here. So right now, our colors list is simply just the following: red, orange, yellow, green, blue. Now this is where our append functions come in. Append is used when we want to add an item to the end of the list. Now it's really important to remember that append does not mean that you're just adding an item randomly. There's other functions used to do that. Append means that we need to add an item to the very end of the list. So remember, append means end. So if we wanted to do this, we could say, let's print out colors right here. We'd say colors.append. And then we would put parentheses because it's a function. And inside of the function, we need to give it an item or an object to the end of the list. As repl.it is even providing us with cues here. It's saying append an object to the end of the list. So after blue, it goes red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, right? So we're going to try to append purple to the end of our list so that now we have a rainbow. So now if we print the list again, we can see that one of it says red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, whereas the second one, after we appended an item, we get red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. So we have successfully appended an item. This is pretty short, simple, easy to understand. You just have to remember what they do. Next one we're going to do here, and this is where we can choose where we want to insert our item. So insert is the function that means that we can add an item to a specific index in the list. So over here, say red is our 0 index. It has an index of 0 because remember, Python starts from 0. Orange has an index of 1. Yellow has an index of 2. Green has an index of 3. And blue has an index of 4. I'm going to get rid of this one over here. Now, say I wanted to add pink into our colors list, right? Pink is my favorite color, guys, just so you know. And so how we would want to do that is we would probably want to add it in between red and orange, right? Because pink is like a lighter hue of red. We can't use append because that would just stick it at the end. So what we do now is we do insert. So how we do insert is we have to do colors.insert because that's our function. Now, instead of only giving it one item to insert, we have to tell it what index it is. So as you can see, repl.it is even prompting you. It's saying, give it an index and then an object. If we want to insert pink between red and orange, that means that we would have to insert it when the index is equal to 1. So it would squeeze orange out to index 2, and it would leave red at index 0. So we tell it to insert it in index 1, and we say insert pink. So now if we want to print our list again, we run our code, we get, let's drag this out a bit here. We first have red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, and then now when we inserted pink into our list, Pink is now the first index and the second item. So we have successfully inserted a color into a specific index which we told the program to insert it into. So we can do another example if we want. Colors dot insert. If we wanted to, we can insert gold. I know people don't really do gold, but gold is like kind of between yellow and orange. So if I really wanted to do that, see, look, red is index 0, pink is index 1, orange is index 2. Now I want to insert gold in index 3 because I want it to be between orange and yellow. So I would say stick it where index 3 is currently and then do gold instead. So now if I run my code, we have red, pink, orange, gold, where gold has an index value of 3 and pink has an index value of 1. So as we can see, the insert method is pretty handy because we can choose where we want to insert our new item. The next function that we're going to be working with is remove. So the remove item is where you specifically tell it which item to delete, essentially. I like to think of it as deleting, but don't get it confused because we have another delete function in the future. So removed, you have to specifically give it something to remove. So once I've printed colors here, I'm going to get rid of this print. Let's say I want to get rid of gold because gold just kind of looks weird right now. So I could say colors dot remove. And then now in here, it needs you to give it a value. So we'll work with what happens if that value doesn't exist. But for now, since gold does not really belong in this list here, we're going to remove gold. So now if we print out our new list, run our program, and over here in our original list up here, which is this print line, it has gold. But now where index 3 is, it is now saying yellow, not gold, which means we have successfully removed a certain value. We have told it exactly which value to remove. We can also remove pink, so we get back to our original. But this time, remember, every time if you're going to remove, you have to give it a specific item to remove, and you put that in quotation marks in your parentheses. We run our code, and then our new list has red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. So the remove function, I guess, is nice when we can tell it specifically what to remove. But oh, wait, we have to go over what happens if, say, we had the color turquoise. I can't spell it. I'm assuming this is how you spell it. It's okay if I get it wrong. So turquoise currently doesn't exist in our list. So what's going to happen here? It's going to give us an error, and it says value error. X is not in the list. It's saying what you're trying to remove is not in the list. And so this is correct because when we try to remove turquoise, our program's going to get confused and say, hey, what are you doing, Sunny? Turquoise doesn't exist in our list. So that was just an example of what happens when it's not included. But let's change this back to gold for now. Now the next function that we are going to be working with is the pop function. So the pop function in very many ways is similar to the next function that we're going to learn, which is the delete function, but there is actually one specific thing that I want to point out. So pop, how I would use it is I would use it to delete the last item in the list. Pop can also be used to remove specific indexes, but there is an even more specific function to do that. So I'm going to be using pop to remove the last item in the list. So let's go ahead and do that. We come back in here and we're going to say, let's get rid of this print, but keep this print. And then I'm going to say colors.pop. And then I'm just not going to put anything in here because it's going to remove the last item if I don't stick anything in here. Now, if I wanted to remove a specific index, you could put a number in here, but that's not what we're going to be working with right now. We'll say print colors. So now when we run our code, it has red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple, which was our original list. But since I popped, well, I guess I could say I popped the last value, but since I applied the pop function, then it got rid of the last item in the list, which was purple. So now we're left with a list of red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. So that was basically the pop function. You can use use it to remove specific indexes, but that is going to be why we transition into another function, which is the delete function. Now, a delete function is solely used to remove specific indexes from your list. So I'd like to just keep pop for removing the last item and delete to remove specific indexes. So in this case, let's get rid of this one, and we're going to say colors.del. And then over here, or is it del? No, it isn't. All right, so this is why everything looks a little different. In our previous slides, we have all seen that it's like name list, list name, dot, and then the function name with parentheses behind it. But the del function is different. Instead of doing anything like that, you would say del this list and then give it in brackets the index that you want to delete. So I made a mistake here. None of this. We would say del colors, and then we have to put brackets. And remember, these are brackets because we're using lists. And then if I wanted to delete yellow, then what index should I put in here? So 0, 1, 2. Remember, we're currently using this list down here because this is our newest, most current list. So 0, 1, 2. Yellow has an index value of 2. So we would put that in here. So now when I print our colors list, we see red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and then after we removed a specific index, we get red, orange, green, blue. We took away yellow. So we can do another example of that. del, we have to put a space here, colors, and then in our brackets, I want to remove, and we're looking up here, I'll remove red. So I'll remove the first item, which has an index value of 0. So if I run our code again, we get orange, green, blue is all that's left over here. So now we have taken a look at delete and pop. Again, let me specify one more time. Pop is where you can delete the last item in the list as well as a specific index. Whereas delete, its format is very different. You have to do del space this list name with your brackets and the index given. So a little bit different than what we've been working with before. And then we have to give it the index in here. And this delete function gives a specific index in the list. I guess you should get rid of these parentheses, right? They're kind of misleading. So this next function that we're going to be working with is the clear function. So the clear function is relatively simple. It's just going to get rid of everything in the list. It's going to empty our entire list. That's not very much explanation needed there. We can just go ahead and say, where did we print colors? We printed colors here. I'm going to get rid of this one, but then I'm going to say this list or list name, so colors dot clear. And then when I print out our list again, let's take a look. So originally it was orange, green, and blue after everything that we've done before, and now it's just an empty list because we've cleared it, we've emptied our list, nothing is left in our list now. So orange, green, blue, as well as an empty list. So the clear function just empties your list. The last function that we're going to work with for lists. I know you guys are like, oh my god, how many more do we have of these? Well, this is the last one. We're going to be working with the copy function. Now this one is just like the name. It's just going to copy your list. And in a way, you have to create another list. They're going to be the same exact thing. So let's get rid of the clearing list. Otherwise, we're just going to have an empty list. We're going to say we have to give our new list a name since we're copying it. We're going to say colors2 is equal to colors dot copy. And so now we can print. I'm going to get rid of this. I'm going to say print out colors as well as colors2. So if you take a look at what I'm doing here, I'm saying colors.copy, since this was our original list name, and then we assign that to a new list. So now I've printed both lists out, and they give me the exact same thing because they're a copy of each other. So now we've gone over, how many functions have we gone over? We've gone over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 different ways, and let's just kind of quickly review over them. Append adds an item to the last part of your list, end of your list. Insert inserts an item to a specific index that you specify in your list. Remove deletes the given item in your list. Pop deletes the last item in your list, or you can also pop a specific index. The delete is slightly different, so don't get this confused. It's going to get rid of a specific index in your list. Clear is going to empty your list, and copy is going to copy your list. Pretty obvious, right? So if you forget any of these, just look it up on Google. We just want to make sure we know how to use them and kind of get a quick idea of what we're doing. So that was our first video for this week. We'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.